Shalom, Israel and families. This is Brother Matthias. I'm coming at you with our first sit down of daily edification through the scriptures, brought to you through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I'd like to welcome you to Rod of Iron Station 2, and this is a family thing here. So if you have children present, welcome. Young ones, young ladies, and young men. You might be 5 years old, you might be 15. It's all the same. Because the scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So the goal of this station here is to edify or to educate or teach you the truth about the Bible. Because if you're a so-called Native American, a so-called Latino, or a Mexican, or Puerto Rican, or whatever you want to call yourself, or a so-called Negro, which is Jamaican, or as they call us, African Americans, which is not what we are, or a so-called Haitian even, or you down in South America, they have mixed Israelites like Belizeans, people like that. This lesson is for you, okay? This station is for you, so that you can learn who you are really, because there's a lot of things being taught to us that are not true about ourselves. So it's up to us to build ourselves, okay? And I want y'all to know that y'all are the greatest people on earth, and I'm getting ready to prove it to you. If you're an Israelite, this is what the Most High Yahweh has to say about you. And I'm going to get to his name in a minute so that you know what his name is, all right? This is Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers. There's 5 books what are called the law, all right? And in those 5 books of the law, those are the laws that in the Old Testament, we had to live by these laws. And some of these laws are still relevant today, but we'll get to that later. But this is what the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of God, that's his real name. All right, his real name is not God. His real name is Yahweh. You spell that Y-A-H-A-H-W-A-H. Yahweh. That's his name. When you hear people say God this, God that, God is his position. Yahweh is his name. This is what Yahweh the Father has to say about you. He says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So you are above all people on the face of the earth. I know it doesn't feel like that right now. I know that it doesn't look like that right now. I know maybe mommy and daddy don't have a lot of money, or that has nothing to do with who the Most High Yahweh sees you as, okay? You are above all people. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not, okay? So, with that, we're going to find out who is Yahweh. That's what I want to ask you today. Who is Yahweh? All right, we know his name is Yahweh and he's the Father, but what about him? All right, how old is he? Has anybody ever thought about that? How old is the one we call God? I mean, we know he's not 35 or 75. How old is he? Y'all want to find out how old the Father is? All right. We'll go to Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. And this is what his son, you know that God has a son. His name is Yahweh Shai. Now, his name Yahweh, it means he is. That's all it means. It's Hebrew, which is what you all are. Your nationality is Hebrew, okay? And when he says that his name is Yahweh, Yahweh in Hebrew means he is. He is what? He is everything. He's whatever you can name. He created everything. He's in everything. He's about everything. Everything moves and is sustained and exists because of him. That's why his name is he is. That's what Yahweh is. Now, Yahweh Shai, which is his son, his name was taken and renamed Jesus. That's not his name. See, Yahweh is the God of the Hebrews, the Israelites, which is what you are. All right? Now, because he's the God of the Hebrews, the Israelites, then his son's name can be Jesus, because the name Jesus is a Greek name. Okay? Just so you know. Now, we're going to get back to how old Yahweh is. This is what his son says. Okay? And he only has one son, and his name is Yahweh Shai, which means he is salvation. So his father's name is he is, his son's name is he is salvation. Salvation means to save, to take care of, to protect. Who does he protect? He protects his people, the Israelites, which is what you are. This is what his son said. Because, see, he and his father are the same. They're two separate beings, but they're the same. Okay? There was called eternal. Eternal means no beginning and no end. All right? This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. Yahweh Shai said, I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, which is what Alpha and Omega means. See, Alpha is Greek for beginning. Omega is Greek for ending. So he says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. So, when I asked you how old is God, how old is Yahweh, how old is the Father? Well, he isn't. I know that's not an answer, huh? Okay. Let me see if I can get you to understand how old he is. Yahweh was never born, and he will never die. Okay? He has no birth date. He's always been here. Never was there a time that he wasn't here. That's a lot, huh? I'll let you think about that for a minute. See, that's what eternity is. But Yahweh the Father, he doesn't live in eternity. Eternity lives in him. He supersedes eternity. He's bigger than eternity too. Nothing is above him. He's the highest of the high. And we belong to him. That's special, isn't it? Now I'm going to prove it to you. I did that long opening because I want us to start off in the book of Genesis. Now, parents, I hope y'all was able to download that Blue Letter Bible, because you're going to need it. I told you. All right. Now, if you don't have a Blue Letter Bible and you have a King James, because that's what I teach out of. I don't teach out of the NIV, the ESV. I don't teach out of any of those. It's just straight King James. All right. Now, there are times where I might go to the NIV myself to get a more common wording of a passage, to kind of get a little more direction. But as far as teaching out of it, I only teach out of the King James Version. That's all we need. That's the most direct line to the correct biblical teaching, okay? Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. We were talking about how old God is. And I said he's not. There's no way to record his age because he doesn't have one. He's always been here, right? Never was there a time when he wasn't here, right? That's what I said. Well, I'm getting ready to prove it. See, we have to prove everything through the scriptures of the Bible. All right, children, parents, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to start getting into is proving things through the scriptures. Our lives will be a whole lot more straightened out. All right. So Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. All right. Now, before there was a beginning, God was already there. Can you understand that? Okay. It doesn't say God in the beginning created the heavens and the earth. It says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So he was already here. Now, I want to show you something about this word God. When you look at it, you got to look at the way it's spelled. It's a big G, a little O, and a little D. Y'all know what that means? When you read the Bible, you have to look at the way things are spelled, and you have to look at the way the wording and the letter that it's used. So I want to show you how. When it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, do you know it's not talking about Yahweh right here? Nope. It's not talking about the Father. Okay? See, the Father does this. Just imagine you at home with your dad. Okay? And he needs the house cleaned up. Okay? Your daddy is Yahweh of that house. That's the Father. Okay? You are the little gods of that house that he wants it to get cleaned up. So when he says, okay, I need the kitchen clean, I need the bathroom mopped, the toilet scrubbed, I need the dishes put away, and I need your room cleaned up. Do y'all think he's going to do it? Nope. He's going to sit in the living room and he's going to watch y'all work, right? Well, that's what this passage is talking about. When it says in the beginning, God, the God that it's talking about is not God the Father. It's talking about the angels that work for him, the Elohim, the Elohim. Now, I want to show you something. Remember I told you guys about getting the Blue Letter Bible? Let me show you something right here. See right there where it says in the beginning, God, where it's in the blue? Watch this. Wait a minute. Right? And then I said we go here to the top bar which says interlinear, right? Hit that, right? Now, check this out. When it says in the beginning, God, see that line right there? Where it says God? All right, look what it says. It says, wrong one. All right, it says right there, in the beginning, God, if you look just to the side, it says Elohim, right? That's the Hebrew word for, I'm going to tap on Elohim. Now, this is the biblical outline usage. This tells you what that word means. It says rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, all right? Gods, okay? It's not talking about God the Father. So, when it says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, just imagine the whole heavens and the earth being like a room that needed to be cleaned up. And the Father was sitting back telling the angels, which are the gods, big G, little o, little d, how to do things. So, the angels, not God the Father, all right, is getting ready to give these angels the command on what to do. Right? So, now that we got that down, in the beginning, God, the angels, created the heaven and the earth. All right? And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God, the angels, moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, the angels, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light. This is the angels now. That it was good. And God, the angels, working, divided the light from the darkness. Verse 5. And God, the angels, called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So, these angels got one room clean. Look at that. All right? Imagine you and your brothers and sisters getting together, and y'all all get together and clean this one room. And that's the one day. Y'all are little angels, but your father Yahweh's in the living room watching y'all work. Okay? Verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament. Now, a firmament is land. Like when you go to the beach and you got the sand and the dirt and the rocks, that's the firmament, all right? And divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, okay? So they had water below and water above, okay? Verse 8, and God, the angels, called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. So the second day, the angels created the ground and the water and everything. And then they created a firmament of water. They created a body of water above the land. So in the ancient world, thousands of years ago, they had water above the earth. Okay? It'd be kind of hard to imagine, right? Verse 9, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. So all these angels, all right, were speaking things into existence, making it happen. All right? And it was so. All the angels did was they said it, and they made it happen. And it was so. Verse 10, and God, the angels, called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. So that's why you see the sea, the North Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean, that's a sea. The Atlantic Ocean, that's a sea. All right. The sea is a big body of water. All right. And God, the angels, saw that it was good. Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his own kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. So everything that God made has seed. That's how you know it came from God. So if you want tomatoes, right? If you cut open a tomato, you see little seeds in there. When you take those little seeds out and plant them in the dirt, it'll make more tomatoes. Okay? Same thing with a watermelon. Same thing with cherries or strawberries. All right? So if something doesn't have seeds in it, you know it didn't come from God, right? Like a seedless watermelon, that didn't come from God. A seedless grape, that didn't come from God. That means somebody messed with it. Okay? Just so you know. All right? Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, and divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So these angels created a way for us to tell time. They created the stars and the moon and everything. Okay? Verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So when it talks about heaven, There are three heavens. Okay? They got the heaven where God the Father stays. You can't see that. Then they got the heaven that's just above the ground when you go out at night and look at the stars. That's the second heaven. And then you got the heaven where you go outside and you can pick a flower off of a bush. That's the first heaven. So there are three heavens. The heaven you could walk on, the heaven you can see, and the heaven where God the Father is that you can't see. All right? Verse 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. This is where the stars come from. Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. The angels saw that it was good. And the evening and morning were the fourth day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. So, now he's creating animals. All right? He created the fowl that can fly. Now we're going to go to verse 21. And God created the whales and every living creature that moves, which the water brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Now, a fowl is like a bird, you know, a chicken. All right, that's a fowl. Okay, verse 22. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply the earth. So, they started multiplying. They started having babies. That's what that's what it means to be fruitful and multiply. They got to act like the fruits that have seeds, and then they multiply. All right. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. So, everything you see, a skunk, a rabbit, a turtle, these angels made all of that. All right? The way the Father wanted them to make it. They had the power to create all of this. Now, we're getting ready to get to man. Look at verse 26. And God, now this is the angels now. All right? This is not God the Father. This is not Yahweh. This is the angels, the rulers, the judges. All right? Like y'all in the house, and y'all daddy's little kids and everything. And daddy is the father. All right. These are the kids. These are the ones that are getting ready to make man, okay? Now, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. So the angels created a certain group of people, okay, that reflected them. That's what happened in the garden. Now, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree bringing seed, that to you it shall be for meat. So, all of these men and women that these angels created, not God himself, But the angels, he made sure that they had food. He made sure that they had herbs and everything to eat. All right. Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. So, they could eat the animals too, right? He said, every fowl and everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So, we made it through chapter 1. What I want y'all to do is study what we just went through. I'm going to have some questions for you. I don't want to give you too much. I think that's good right here. I'm going to have some questions that I want to ask you. Not a lot, just to make sure that we on point. All right. So, parents, children, we got through our first round. I feel good about that. You children, I want y'all to say this with me. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises due. All right, Rod of Iron family. Love y'all. Fawadah for trusting me with your children and with this biblical education that we're trying to give them. And it's going to be y'all job to reinforce this now. All right. All right, family. Love y'all. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Oh, let me say what Bashem means. Okay. Yahweh is the Father, which means he is. Bashem means in his name. That's what Bashem means. And then Yahweh Shai. He is salvation. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Translation, he is in his name. Whose name? Yahweh. He is salvation. Who is salvation? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Well, that's enough for now, y'all. Quickly prepare for the next message. It's coming soon. All right. Brother Matthias is out.